It says testing, testing, uno, dos, tres. 1, 2, 3. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. What is up? Josh here, and I am ready to draw today. Um, yeah, I'm actually finally well rested, caffeinated, and at the studio. So things are actually like good to go today. Hopefully, I'm able to get some stuff done. I know last week I was like, oh my god, I can't draw or talk or do anything. Such is dad life, but I slept great last night. Let me see. I wanted to go to Twitch. Let's log in because apparently I just suck at that. I don't stay logged in anywhere. Like I'm live on Twitch because of OBS, but like I'm not on Twitch. Creator dashboard. I don't like that I can't just go straight to the stream, man. I guess I could bookmark that. That would make sense, wouldn't it? All right, I got no one on Twitch anyway, so it doesn't matter. I got no one on YouTube. Like no one? Come on. Well, I guess I could just get to drawing and see what happens, right? Right. Let's try that wild, crazy idea. And yeah, I want to do some gesture drawing to warm up. Let's just go on to the next one because I did not have a full 2 minutes to draw. And let's see. Whoa, that is massive. Let's get my Procreate keyboard turned on here. All right, that works. Screen. All right, here goes. I have 0 views, but my average view duration is 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Is someone like secretly watching me on YouTube right now? I'm gonna turn the camera a little bit more towards me so that you can actually see me while I'm drawing. Oh yeah, you can see my mop bucket in the background now. All right, I've wasted more time talking. What's massive? I don't know. What was I saying was massive? Hey, look at that. I actually managed to spit out a halfway decent gesture in a compressed amount of time because I wasn't paying attention. It's almost like I know how to do this sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time. All right. Ooh, this is one of them S-shaped torsos because he's like leaned into his pose. This is one of those rarities. Let's see. Leg is coming forward, leg goes back. This leg. This is a really awkward pose. Which, I don't know, like, I struggle with drawing men anyway, so that means I should draw more men, right? It actually that's exactly what it means. If I struggle with a thing, I should draw that thing more. Hmm. Hello, Twitch viewer. All right, we've got people tuning in from both platforms now. Welcome, welcome. Well, I guess I have selected my brush as an eraser. which is perfectly fine with me. Got a few new pose packs, and none of those new poses have popped up from the new packs yet. Sipping some coffee. Yeah, yep. I was a little worried about my energy and whether or not I would be able to really jump in and do the live streams today, because like, even though I got a lot of sleep, I'm well caffeinated and all of that, like I had a lot of trouble getting the kids out the door this morning. My oldest daughter, so my middle child, she was struggling pretty intensely with her emotions this morning, and just being patient and understanding with her was very difficult. So we had a little bit of a power struggle getting her to school this morning, which was not pleasant, but we managed. Sorry, my coffee is incredibly hot. I just got, like, I have the same coffee pot at the studio as I do at home because I love that coffee pot. And for some reason, the one at the studio makes the coffee much, much, much hotter than the one that I have at home. So that sucks sometimes. I burn the crap out of myself almost every day. Yeah, sure. All right, I have to print my daughter a coloring page, so.
Hello Kitty.
A Hello Kitty coloring page. Let's see what we can find.
With a kitty.
Hello Kitty coloring page. Images? Which one? Don't knock my coffee over. Okay, we're gonna move this over here. Hey, now, Can you go get a paper towel to dry up the coffee? No? Alright, I'll go get a paper towel to dry up the coffee in a minute. Dad life. Hashtag Dad life. Okay, which Hello Kitty coloring page would you like, sweetheart?
I can cut out.
Oh, yeah, I'll get some more work done on the tarot project.
This one out.
You want that one so that you can color it and then cut it out? Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Miss Namera. I am in the process of printing a Hello Kitty strawberry coloring page for my daughter, and then I guess, it has been requested that I drop some more lore on the tarot project. I also have to get a paper towel to dry up the coffee that my daughter spilled. Oh. Oh, I have paper towels right here. Look at that. I'm in a tattoo shop. There's paper towels everywhere. Drop the lore. So some of the lore I can't drop on a on a public-facing channel because of the nature of some of the extra work that I'm doing on the side. But I can drop some of the lore for sure. Hey. Boopity. Boopity. Get rid of stuff. Yes, this is important. Sorry, bear with me for a moment. Things are chaos. Chaos. Alright. So, I'm just going to pause this and we'll leave an acrobat on the screen gesture drawing, because I don't know if you're picking up the doop 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 every time that it changes. What is up? Wah. Oh. So is the GH the sound or the f sound in your name? All right, tarot. Let's I've done some gestures. Let's go back to, nope, not clients. Portfolio. So it's wow. What is up, Nova? No, Lane is basically Lane on almost everything. He does, oh gosh. His Twitch username is a little different, but his YouTube username is still Lane. This isn't a gesture. Oh, holy crap. All right, 1 second. My, there we go. I don't know how long it's been stuck. So, yeah, it's been stuck on a thing, doing a thing. So last time I actually like backtracked a lot and did this so that I could simplify the value structure. And then I got some feedback through my my website, because I keep everything updated on my website. So members can give me feedback and make requests on what I write or draw or everything. And I got some feedback. It was like, it looked better before. I'm like, yeah, I know it looked better before, but like the value structure got lost. So I simplified the value structure so that I could fix it. So now I'm somewhere in between. So I've taken the previous painting, which was, quote, better, and overlaid it onto my new simplified value structure, and I got like a happy medium, which I actually really like. So this has more form to it than the simplified value structure, but now that I've done all of the stuff and things, I'm just gonna do my usual copy canvas paste and get a flattened version of the image. And this is what I'm going to work from now. Actually, no, I should not have done that yet. Because, well, screw it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's not working. Come on, paste. There we go. So I'm just going to work from this. Yeah. I wonder, can I? No, it won't let me. I was going to check to see if I could merge down onto a locked layer. That would have been convenient. So I've got my simplified value structure, which made like the silhouettes a lot stronger. But I also have some of the rendering that I did prior to everything. I'm gonna unlock that. I want to try like working directly on the layer and see what happens. Like, do I hate it? Do I love it? Also, I really love the versatile gouache paintbrush as a smudge brush. It's really freaking awesome. Thanks, Max. Or not Max. This is oh god. It's Monero. Yeah, it's one of the Monero brushes. I am kind of mad at me for forgetting that because he is my favorite brush maker. Yeah, so this actually looks pretty strong to me. I could be fooling myself, I don't know. But right now I really like the blend of the two. I'm trying to soften any light fall off. But anything that is like a cast shadow will stay sharp. Anything that is a form shadow or lighting will get softened a little bit. So I like having a sharp edge and a soft edge. Usually the sharp edge indicates like the edge of a thing, and the soft edge indicates a form. Me being a nerd. Right there, soft edge. You can also indicate sharper forms by having like a firm edge like that. So it's not like a hard edge or a soft edge, somewhere in between. Yeah. It fell apart whenever I tried to do color though. So I don't know what to do. What should I do? Actually, I do know what to do. I'm going to desaturate a little bit because this shape in the background, I did not like how saturated it was. I've actually switched my base color palette here. So what was it? So this is my new darkest, slightly more saturated color. This is like it was way more saturated than that before. I didn't like it. So this is where I'm at. This is the stuff. What do I want to paint with? Edge. Edge. So how's everyone's day going? I actually want to talk this time. If I can, I'll try. I'll try to talk. Oh, I do have some interesting and good news. So, well, it's good news related to bad news. So the bad news was that last week my son broke my Apple, or week before last. Good news is, since I have replaced my Apple Pencil, some of the really glitchy behavior that my old Apple Pencil was doing, like skipping lines, has disappeared. So he sort of did me a favor by giving me an excuse to buy a new Apple Pencil. But I'm not going to tell him that. Good job, son. Thanks for breaking my Apple Pencil. It made it several years. Very good. Just woke up, made some tea. Tea is weak. I can't do tea. It has to be coffee for me. I'm an addict. What can I say? Yeah, I'm definitely not telling my son that him breaking my Apple Pencil was a good thing, though. I have no freaking clue what a London frog is. You'll have to enlighten me. Tim's Hose? That's a place? I gotta figure this out. I'm very I'm very intrigued by Tim's Hose. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna try to do today is really just slowly build my value structure until I'm happy with the values everywhere, or almost everywhere, or almost happy. I don't know what I'm saying, honestly. Yeah, I want to go a little darker. Oh, come on. You know, like, if anyone has listened to me ramble enough, you got it. Like, gestures are just a warm up. Fogs, London fog. Okay, I thought you said London frog. I'm like, what is fogs? Dragon piece. Oh shit. Hit me with a dragon. I'm gonna go look at your sketchbook. It better be in your sketchbook. Sketchbooks. Oh. Ooh. There's no sketchbook. I haven't like posted art in a while. New brush, woo. What is that new brush? Whoa. Multicolored brushes. You're a crazy person. Oh, you're doing like toothless designs and stuff. Like you do a lot of toothless. I like toothless. Dude. Yeah, I need to start bothering Lane again. I had like a really wild last half of 2025. I mean, I think everyone had a really wild last half of 2025. It was rough. But I've been trying to rebuild a lot of my routines and stuff. We'll see how it goes. Some smaller shapes in there. Nope, wrong thing. Ah. Dude, be as obsessed as you. Honestly, I miss being more involved in a lot of artsy things. Yeah, I'm getting back on the train here in the next few weeks, month, whatever. Actually, let's just say I'm getting back on the train. Choo choo. I'm gonna try overlay layers and see what happens. actually looks decent. I'm going to try overlay layers with lowered opacity. I think it's hilarious that my daughter's over there coloring while I'm over here coloring. She rocks the tattoo shop life. So anyone on the mod crew already knows that I am obsessed with Shot Deck. I'm going to just reiterate my position on that. Get Shot Deck if you're an artist. It's awesome. Especially if you get into like the comic book stuff. Like every frame could act as a comic book panel. Super convenient. You're very, very, very extra red. Yeah, I'm gonna not do that. Let's go somewhere more here. No. There we go. Seeing how things react as overlays is always really interesting to me because it doesn't ever go exactly the way I think it will. Yeah. Actually, this is working much better. Much better. Values aren't falling apart on me yet. That's good. I should also figure out where I'm going to sneak in the flowers on this design, because there do need to be flowers. That's just part of the visual of this particular card of the world. Usually there are like 2 wands as well, and I don't have any wands, so I should probably at least try to make sure that I get some of the visuals right. Make this more of a dirty blonde brown with a hint of red. Overlay, I find, does change the values a little bit, but it's nowhere near as extreme of a value shift as other blend modes. Even soft light. So soft light, actually soft light is less of a value shift. But it's not as saturated as I want it. So I'm going to stick with overlay. I think it helps that I'm keeping the values that I'm painting the overlay layer with close to the values that are underneath the overlay layer. I think that helps. Yeah, I am going to just paint with overlay until I get my values blocked in, and then I'll pick up from there and go into a normal layer on top of everything and just paint with the color picker from there. Yes, dear. Oh, look at that. Check it. Look at that Hello Kitty. I'm pretty sure it's an AI Hello Kitty. But you can't find anything. Print you another one. Okay, give me just a minute.
I want an elephant.
An elephant. All right, let's get this little lady an elephant coloring page. Do I still have music? Yeah, music's still going. Elephant coloring page. All right, which one do you want, little lady? That one? You got it. Why buy coloring books when you can just print straight from the images on... I don't use Google, I use DuckDuckGo because yeah, a weird privacy person. Probably too weird of a privacy person anymore. I like this, not green, but greenish yellow color. Or an eye color. Get one eye color right there. Let's saturate some areas very gently. A little of that subsurface look going. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Ugh. Went a little too crazy with it. Awesome. Let's see what that does down here. That's fine. The fewer colors that I can get by with using, the better. For now. So I'm being tricky and using the same color as I used for the lips, like to saturate the lips, using the same color on her jacket. zooming out, like, it's actually, like I said, the value structure is holding together this time much better than last time. I think it's just got a lot to do with being more careful about the colors I was picking and letting things just work. Also not saturating everything as much. It's a little too bright. Let's bring it down and see if that, yeah. No, not erase. So far, this purple is the most standout-ish color that I've dropped on here. So I'm toning it down a little bit, making it more of a purple gray. And I'll increase the saturation in the shadows later. I'm actually not worried if I overpaint a little. Like, this is a very rough color lay-in. Like, I can tighten it as much as I want whenever it's time to tighten everything up. Sweet. I think her hair, the Rain's hair, so the mom, I think her hair is still a little too saturated. So this, I think, is the color that I was using. Nope, that's even more saturated. This, I think, is the color I was using. Yeah, all right. I am going to drop the saturation just a touch and maybe drop the brightness just a touch. I don't want her hair to look brown. I still need it to be gingerish. How's that? Looks good to me. And I'll let some of that more saturated color show through, but for the most part I'm blocking in the big part with a little less saturation. That, I think, works. All right. All right, so here's where we started today. Here's where we're at. So, actually, I'm going to go ahead and canvas. Well, all right. Copy canvas. I want to take this back to. Take this back to this stack. So I've got Fool and Death. I set up my tarot cards so that I can just paste in whatever I'm working on. And it'll keep it clipped to everything underneath. So I need to be conscious of the dimensions that I'm working with here. So, like any flowers that I add in, need to be able to fit within this frame, because it's not going to be exactly the same as it's not going to be exactly the same as the card. Like the aspect ratio that I'm working on for prints is not the same as what I'm working on for the card. So I got to keep in mind that like if it's too close to the corners, it's going to get cropped off. So that's what I have to be conscious of anyway. So let's go back to Leo. Yes, dear. Then bring it here if you want more time. Alright, so I've got a little bit of reflected light in a few different places, but not consistently. So I think what I'm going to do next is work with normal layer, but lower the opacity. Kids like to try and see what their passcode is. Do that. So normal layer, lower opacity, halfway. I want to pick this color. I want to lighten it. I want to shift the hue a little more towards green and blue. And paint and see what it looks like. That actually works. Let's drop that down. I guess, honestly, if I'm doing lowered opacity, I could just switch to just like a blue. Honestly, let's like a bluish green. Drop the opacity. Lighten it a little. And then carefully brush it on. What happens? I get a hue shift, just like I was trying to get. I can use it in multiple spots. Drop a rim light. I can erase. I've been really considering like pulling a like a lowish type workflow and see how it goes. So the lowish workflow is basically paint it in, erase the extra, merge it down. Like that's rinse and repeat over and over and over again. Which works, honestly, but how well does it work? I don't know. I hear my daughter's YouTube video over there talking about gemstones, and it's got me thinking about the book that I'm reading right now. So I'm a huge Brandon Sanderson fan, and I've been struggling to get through his latest Stormlight book for a while, which is a shame because, like I said, I'm a Brandon Sanderson fan. But it's been so tough to get into the book, but I finally managed to find the interest that I've been so desperately looking for. And it's getting good. I have a really bad feeling that he's gonna pull like a real Game of Thrones moment though, and it's not gonna be a happy ending. I haven't read any spoilers, so I don't know that that's the case, but the more I read the book, the more dark it seems. Try to simplify some shapes. Sorry, I'm trying to get a bridge tone between these two. There we go. All right, for some reason. There we go. No, I didn't want to undo anything. Redo, yeah. I'm not working on a new layer. Oops. It's just having fun on one layer. I mean, I guess that's fine. I just typically don't like to work that way. Not that it's not a valid way to work, it's just not the way I typically work. You know what I didn't do? I did not start recording whenever I started painting. That is a no-no. Like, that's actually something that I've been very good about. And today, subscribers will help me. Oh, now we have an elephant. Thank you, sweetheart. Oh wow, it's past 10. Alright, I need to get up and stretch because that's important too. Take a stretch break, all of you artists out there. Ah. I also need to put a lid on my coffee because it's starting to get cold. Alright. I'll be back shortly. I'm gonna get up, stretch, use the bathroom. Yeah. And we're back. So, looking at this, like, sometimes even stepping away for 2 seconds and then coming back lets you spot things in a design that just are not working. Almost like flipping the canvas, which I need to also do in just a few minutes. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that. So flipping a canvas and stepping away are the two things that really help you spot inconsistencies in your art. There we go. Fixed her face because I was not a fan of how her face was starting to look. I'm also gonna fix her nose. There we go. I'm getting a weird almost tangent here. Just gonna block that in. Here we go. Sharpen some of these lines. Boom. Oh. Sweet. What is up, milkshake? Drawing stuff. What's going on over there? We are drawing a tarot card right now. A fishing game. What are this fishing game? I do know what a fish is. Or I would like to think I know what a fish is. Well, fantastic. I personally do not, unfortunately. Or fortunate, I don't know. Is that unfortunate that I like I never really had much of an interest in fishing. My great grandfather used to take me whenever I was like 6, which was a very long time ago. because I am old. We always fed the ducks because his fishing pond had a rather large duck population. So we'd take bread, ducks, and the cat. Well, not catfish, but the bluegill would always come up and yeah. But the bluegill would always come up and eat the bread that we'd throw in the pond. Special interests outside of art? It's a good question. I don't know. Like, me and I'm a dad, so my kids sort of sucked all of the interest out of life. That's a bad joke. No, I read a lot of books. Like, I'm a philosophy nerd. For me, like, lately it has been sorry, Eastern philosophy. I did lots of the Stoic philosophy whenever I was building a business, but now that the business is built, I find what is up, Chris? Welcome. Lurk away. I am doing fairly wellish. I have a lot more energy this week than I did last week. I actually slept. So Eastern philosophy interests have mostly revolved around Taoism, Buddhism, and Hinduism lately. Like, those are the ones that I'm digging into the straight up source material on lately. No specific branches of Buddhism yet. I'm not particularly interested in some of the more mystical or mysticism aspects of Buddhism. I tend to think of myself as more of a secular Buddhist, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Well, not even Buddhist. I'm not a Buddhist. I'm not even a secular Buddhist. I prefer the secular practices of Buddhism. I mean, I am deeply interested in the mysticism of it all, but yeah, yes, but that's actually, I've sort of like dabbled into various Eastern religions throughout my adulthood, like since my junior year of high school. So like 25-ish. Oh man. Oh, like 22-ish years. And yeah, that was one of the things that really stood out to me about most Eastern religions. Like, they are very secular. I'm kind of there with you. Like, I am very much I tend to study very, like, a lot of breadth, not a whole lot of depth, except for a few very specific things. So I know a lot of surface level stuff about a whole lot of things, and then my depth knowledge tends to revolve around art and business. Like, that's where I've spent most of my life studying, was art and business. And I like to actually blame art for the whole lot of surface level stuff about a whole lot of things, because anytime I get into a reference hunt, I tend to, like, go down these rabbit holes where I'm like, oh, well, that's very interesting about how this mechanic part works, or, oh, well, that's why trees behave this way visually. Like, digging into art has allowed me to dig into a variety of things that most people just never explore. But never depth wise. Well, not never, but rarely depth wise. Saturated dark. Got our collarbone coming out there. Oh. Actually, I would argue that my art knowledge is very much eclipsed by my business knowledge, which is sort of a shame. I could have done a lot more as an artist if I decided to dive deep on the art side of things. But there's always time. Tattooing, which is kind of how I justify doing the art thing as much as I do. It is, yeah. But it's not necessarily the kind of art that I really wanted to do. So growing up, I always wanted to do comics and illustration, and tattooing was where I found myself, which I love tattooing. It's the coolest job in the world. So I have not even necessarily the management part, because I'm not a huge fan of managing people. But the building and marketing of a business I can do. Like, I've either built or helped build 5 tattoo studios now, and they're all doing well. Like, none of the tattoo studios that I have built so far have failed. Like, it's not something that I Like it's not something that I ever set. Like I never was like, oh, I am going to start building tattoo studios. It was just a skill developed out of necessity. So the first studio I helped build was with a good friend, like a childhood friend. We built a studio together, and he hired on a few other artists. There was a coup, sort of. That was a weird situation, but I ended up going along, not with the coup. I, he. That's a long story. He and his well, he and his girlfriend started running the studio in a way that was not very friendly toward any of the artists, myself included. And he encouraged us to leave, so we did. So I helped build the next one, which sort of got shut down during COVID, but reopened under the same leadership. But while it was closed during COVID, that particular owner helped four. I'm sorry. No, I was one of the artists that got poached, and I helped build that business. Um, but it sort of got shut down, so I built my own studio and then built a new studio. It's fine. Me and my friend have since made amends, and everything's good. But yeah, I've built 4 studios. This is the largest. It's about 3,000 square feet. We have 5 artists. It's like a warehouse. Yeah. No, we have bays for 5 artists. We have 1 empty bay at the moment, so we have 4 artists with 1 opening. Yeah. Oh. Times be tough out there for a lot of people. Actually, that's sort of what I tried to do. Was so neo-traditional tattoos are very much comic book / Art Nouveau, Golden Age Illustrator inspired. So that's what I'd like to do the most. But I'm in a very rural town running a luxury studio, so it's weird to try to specialize in things that, like, if I were in a city, I could have done it. Nah, I much prefer Art Nouveau, along with the Golden Age Illustrator. So, like, huge fan of Leyendecker. He's probably my favorite illustrator of all time. And then Norman Rockwell, really awesome. I understand the Art Deco thing now. Like, if you roleplay a dwarf, that is very much blocky Art Deco repeating pattern. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Yeah. So this is technically a way for me to bridge the gap between having a personal project and a comic. So I'm doing a comic that I can't necessarily talk a whole lot about here. But I'm doing the world building with the Tarot project. No, it's not an NDA. It's a not safe for work theme. So yeah, I'm doing world building that is safe for work by doing tarot projects. Yeah, I know. I just don't put my face on Picardo, and I have a different username. Like I said, this is my work-friendly stream. Yeah, like this is the friends and family channel. Yeah, no, I don't stream enough on Picardo to pick up people's usernames. That would be hilarious, though. Yeah, like I have an entirely different website, persona, like socials, all of the things for the spicy stuff. Oh, awesome. Less ads. Does Twitch drop ads? I don't. So I mostly, so I'm multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitch right now, which I think pisses Twitch off a little bit. I don't really care. Oh, that's just greedy. I don't care about making money off of my art here or streaming. No, I'm not gonna get affiliated on Twitch. Can you get affiliated on Picardo? That's interesting. Yeah, no worries about that here. I really have zero interest in making money off of advertising. Yeah, you're not wrong. The- Oh, cool. Oh, no. I'm here to just ramble and chat myself. You're not gonna bother me by being in rambly mode. Any particular favorite artists that you look to for anatomy and whatnot? Yeah. So I'm developing characters that I'm using in that other project. And using the tarot cards as a way to do that. Ooh, Marco Bucci is a very good one to. Baby, we'll go to the dollar store whenever I'm done streaming. It's almost time. Marco Bucci's great. Check out. You're going down the Marco Bucci rabbit hole. Some other artists you might be interested in would be like Cynics has really good older content about anatomy and stylization. You're going down the concept art path. Check out Artwad, ARTWOD. That's Antonio. Can't pronounce his last name. He's really good, and I really like their website. It's very friendly for learning. Like, he's a very good teacher. Like, he's a very, very good teacher. And he has a good YouTube channel as well. One second. Let me pop into Twitch and I'll just drop the name. Get my mouse to work. I think that's how you I think that's how you write his last name. I'm not 100%. I may have misspelled it. Wow, that's upside down and disorienting. But that's a really good one. Oh, and Cynics design. And who else? Oh, Ahmed Al-Dori. Yeah, those are like the big ones that I think you would probably find a lot of value in. do not like the way this is shaped right now, so I am going to paint over it. Oh my goodness. Oh no, what have I done? Destroyer of worlds. Actually, Cynics is very, very old. Oh, new to you probably. Yeah. I love Cynics. It's really great content. Very educational. My daughter is so ready to go to the dollar store and pick up some snacks. Snacky snacks. She loves her snacky snacks. We've got one that's called the Dollar Tree here. That's not the one that we're going to. We go to Dollar General because it's within walking distance. But yeah, the Dollar Tree is now like the $1.25 store. Like nothing is $1. Nothing at all is $1 because everything's too expensive to sell for $1 anymore. It's ridiculous. Ugh, that's not. No, yeah. But no, we usually they know my daughter on a first name basis when we go there because we just walk down the street hand in hand and then roll in, and she used to get the same ice cream every single day. Yeah. Well, there's one that's called Five Below. It's not really a dollar store there. It's like a pallet store, I guess. But they do the same thing, essentially. Oops. There we go. My dad. All jokes are funny to me. Hello, little lady. You're on. No, I'm not done. You're on camera. So all artists steal. I've accepted that. Brandon Sanderson stole materia from Final Fantasy VII and called it Gemstones, and that's how he made the Stormlight
Yeah.
Archive.
Current painting.
No, we're about to leave, so I'm not printing another coloring page right now. So I'm stealing the same idea. Gemstones are the source of magical power. Dang it! Quit it. She's trying to close. She's trying to close stuff now. Yeah. Ah. Okay. Okay, I might not be able to finish this stream. She's never knocked the whole freaking laptop over before. Um, oh man. Things I figured out about the world. Uh, so yeah, I survived the earthquake. Actually, there are the main source of magical power I've decided to call anima, which is, you know, like Roman word for soul. Again, stealing inspo from wherever I can. And when a lot of people experience extreme emotions, or their spirit leaves their body, anima is generated, and sometimes that force of magic in this world coalesces into something called a muse, which is not a ghost necessarily, but a spiritual entity made up of emotion or spirit in general. Yeah. But when a muse is created, it's usually at the site of some sort of great emotional focus point. So like a very moving speech, or a tragedy, or whatever else. Like any time that there is a great amount of spiritual energy concentrated, you get a muse. It is working. Yeah. You keep hitting other buttons. All right. What are you? Okay, here. I don't know what you've done. But muses, when they're formed, tend to bond to either individuals or groups of people. Like I said, they're not spirits, like ghosts necessarily, because it takes a lot of anima to make a muse, but they are spiritual, sort of. The way I try to think of it is it is working. It's loud. Okay, there you go. The way I've tried to think of it or describe it is that, like, spiritual energy is either emotion or innate. But yeah, muses also can power, like, the gemstones, whatever they might be, which I've started brainstorming ideas there. But the story that I'm developing is, and setting wise, I'm sort of stealing from all of the Zelda lore. So you have different ancestries that are based on sort of the climate that they live in naturally. So the way I like to describe it is that, like, it's Final Fantasy VII meets Legend of Zelda in terms of concept of the world. And then I've sort of veered off and done a lot of crazy things with my own world building. I would show you, like, the big document that I've been compiling, but as I mentioned before, it is not safe for work property, and I cannot air it on YouTube. Like, even flipping through it, I'd be like, yep, gotta edit that out somehow, gotta edit that out somehow, gotta edit that out. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, I guess. It's a very vague gist of it. that that would be funny. But the story I'm writing follows a married couple, and their daughter is not really part of the story, but they have a daughter, and this is one of said parents with their daughter. Yeah. 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 But it is time for me to wrap up the stream. Thank you for tuning in and chatting. I really enjoyed that. Dollar store time. Yeah. Oh, you can't see. There she is. Sitting in a tattoo chair, watching TV. Oh yeah, I never enjoy spending money, but it never stops. Never stops. Do. Thanks for tuning in. We will continue this lovely painting next week. I'm probably gonna. It was nice meeting you too. Oh, got heartburn. Too much coffee. Yeah, take it easy. I'll be back next Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Because I'm a weird person who likes to stream in the mornings for some reason. Oh, it's because I'm a dad. By the time I'm normally supposed to be streaming for the general public, I'm too busy putting my kids in bed. Yeah. Take it easy. Keep drawing, painting, writing, singing, dancing, doing all of the creative things. Hashtag screw AI. Later, Namera. Bye, Milkshake. Nova, if you're still watching, take it easy. Chris, be good. Later, everyone.